Royal shock. Princess Leonor de Borbón married in Liechtenstein, Spain left speechless. Spain woke up to a story no one saw coming. The kind of royal twist that rewrites history itself. For years, the world expected Princess Leonor, the beloved heir to the Spanish throne, to walk the aisle in a grand royal wedding in Madrid or Copenhagen. But instead, she vanished from public view, only to reappear in the tiny, fairy-tale Principality of Liechtenstein, as a married woman. Yes, you heard that right. Princess Leonor de Borbón-Ortiz, future Queen of Spain, is now married, and not to anyone the world expected. This shocking revelation has left Spain stunned, Europe in disbelief, and the royal world in utter chaos. But how did this happen? Why Liechtenstein? And most importantly, who is the man who has captured the heart of the future Spanish monarch? Tonight, we unfold the entire untold story, from secret meetings, royal defiance, and hidden love, to the emotional reactions echoing through the palaces of Madrid. Let's begin where it all started. For years, Leonor's life has been defined by duty. The perfect daughter, the poised princess, the future Queen of Spain, trained under the watchful eyes of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. Every step, every smile, every word, calculated, rehearsed, precise. Spain's crown princess was the picture of royal perfection. But behind that calm, regal smile, something was changing. Those closest to her noticed it. A quiet longing, a restlessness. She began asking questions about love, independence, and what it really means to live for oneself, and not just for the crown. Then came the moment that changed everything. A private visit to Liechtenstein last winter for what was publicly described as a royal cultural exchange. But those who were there say it was anything but formal. In that snow-covered kingdom, surrounded by mountains and silence, Princess Leonor met someone who wasn't a prince, at least not in title. His name has now become the center of global curiosity. A descendant of one of Europe's oldest noble families, connected distantly to the Liechtenstein royal house. Educated in Switzerland, known for his discretion and quiet charm. A man who understood the weight of royal life, but who lived free from it. Sources close to the Spanish royal household say that Leonor fell deeply in love almost immediately. Their connection was said to be instant and undeniable. They spoke the same languages, shared the same values, and most importantly, they understood the burden of expectation. At first, their relationship was hidden. Leonor, then still in her military training, was bound by strict royal protocol. Letters were sent through trusted aides. Phone calls were coded, and every secret meeting was planned with military precision. But secrets, especially royal ones, have a way of unraveling. By spring, Queen Letizia had learned the truth. And that's when everything changed. Sources describe intense discussions behind palace walls. The queen, protective and firm, was torn between her daughter's happiness and the responsibility that comes with being heir to the Spanish throne. King Felipe, on the other hand, was said to be quietly devastated. For the king, love had always been a private choice, but not one that could compromise the crown. And yet, Leonor was resolute. Friends describe her as calm, mature, and unwavering. She reportedly told her parents, "I want to serve Spain, but I must first be true to myself." Those words would later echo across Spain, igniting a national debate. Then, just when everyone thought the situation had cooled, an extraordinary event unfolded in complete secrecy. In the early days of October, Princess Leonor traveled quietly to Liechtenstein under the pretense of attending a private diplomatic event. But what awaited her there wasn't diplomacy, it was destiny. Inside a centuries-old chapel hidden within the Liechtenstein countryside, in a ceremony attended by only 14 people, the future Queen of Spain exchanged vows. The ceremony was described as intimate, emotional, and deeply personal. She wore a simple ivory gown, not a royal couture piece, but a handcrafted design inspired by her mother's wedding dress. The groom wore a tailored navy suit. No royal fanfare, no media, no state guests, just love, sincerity, and silence. When the vows were spoken, witnesses say Leonor's voice trembled slightly, but her eyes were full of conviction. She wasn't a princess at that moment, she was simply Leonor. When the news finally reached Madrid, it spread like wildfire. The palace immediately went into lockdown mode. No statement, no denial, Silence. But silence only fueled speculation. Was this a private marriage recognized under European law? Would it affect Leonor's claim to the throne? And above all, what did it mean for Spain's monarchy? Within hours, Spanish media exploded. Headlines called it the royal earthquake. Protesters gathered outside Zarzuela Palace demanding answers. Monarchists expressed heartbreak. Younger Spaniards, however, praised her courage. She did what no one else could, one young supporter told reporters. She proved that love matters more than protocol. But the royal family's response came in a single, carefully written statement days later. It read, "Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Asturias, has made a personal decision with full awareness of her responsibilities. The royal household will continue to uphold the constitutional duty of the crown." It was diplomatic, restrained, but full of meaning. The king hadn't disowned his daughter. Nor had he approved openly. It was a statement balanced on a knife's edge. Behind closed doors, emotions ran high. Queen Letizia, insiders say, was heartbroken yet protective. She reportedly told her daughter, "You have chosen love, and that takes strength." Meanwhile, the groom's family, traditional and discreet, expressed their pride in welcoming Leonor. In Liechtenstein, small gatherings were held in private homes to celebrate the union quietly, away from prying eyes. As the story unfolded, Europe was divided. Some royal experts praised Leonor's independence, comparing her to Queen Elizabeth's sister, Princess Margaret, who famously sacrificed love for duty. Others warned that such a move could destabilize the Spanish monarchy. But Leonor's supporters argue that the monarchy must evolve, or risk fading away. And here's where the story deepens. Reports emerged suggesting that Leonor and her husband plan to divide their time between Madrid and Liechtenstein, living privately while she continues her constitutional preparation. If true, this marks a new era for modern monarchy, where love and duty coexist, not collide. Yet not everyone is convinced. Within Spain's political class, there's quiet unease. Some fear that Leonor's decision could reignite Republican sentiment. Others see it as an opportunity to humanize the crown. And amid all the chaos, there's the emotional reality, a young woman, born into destiny, trying to live a life of her own making. Those close to her describe Leonor as serene, even now. She knows what she's done, one palace insider said. And she's ready to face the consequences. That poise, so reminiscent of her father's dignity, yet powered by her mother's strength, has now made her a symbol of courage across generations. But what about Spain? The Spanish people are torn. Older generations, raised with royal traditions, feel betrayed. Younger voices, however, celebrate her authenticity. Social media in Spain has turned into a battlefield, between those defending royal duty and those shouting for love and freedom. Across Europe, the Liechtenstein connection has stunned even fellow royals. The small principality, known for its privacy, has suddenly become the backdrop of Europe's most whispered royal secret. And yet, amid the noise, there's a strange beauty to it all. Because in the end, this isn't just a royal story, it's a human one. A story of love-defying tradition, of a daughter standing up to the weight of her crown, and of a nation forced to look inward and ask, what does monarchy truly mean in the 21st century? As night falls over Madrid, one image lingers, the Princess of Asturias, standing hand in hand with her husband, under the quiet sky of Liechtenstein, no cameras, no fanfare, no crown. Just two souls who chose love, knowing the world might never understand. And maybe that's the real power of this story. Because sometimes, the truest kind of royalty isn't found in gold or protocol, but in the courage to follow one's heart, even when the whole world says you shouldn't. As the bells of Spain ring in disbelief and Europe whispers in wonder, one truth stands above all: Princess Leonor de Borbón has written her own chapter in royal history. Not with decree, but with love. And for that, the world will never look at her the same way again. This is the royal shock that left Spain speechless. The future queen has become her own legend.